Welcome to round 2 of the 2024 Metro Cup season, coming to you live from Whites Hill Reserve in Brisbane. Scott McAllister and Zach Jenrick with you in commentary this evening for tonight's matches, which will see the Gold Coast taking on the Redlands in the men's Premier Division and the Country Club Colts taking on the Gold Coast in the women's a little bit later on tonight. It was a good win last week for Redlands, Zach, in round 1. Their first match back in the competition for a couple of years, defeating the grand finalists from last year, UQ Rebels, 8-4 for the Gold Coast. They went down 8-5 to last year's champions, the Country Club Colts. Coast will be looking to get their campaign for the Metro Cup season underway here with a win over the boys in the red and the green.
Yeah, should be a really good game tonight. A couple of big ins for Gold Coast as well. Jordan Marshall-King suiting up tonight, which is a massive in for them. Obviously hot off a men's open championship at the Touch World Cup a few weeks ago. So that's a huge in, and that'll be a huge boost for those boys as they look to bounce back. Yeah,
we see the team list for tonight, coached by Troy Skinner. A couple of the young kids. It's a young team overall, isn't it? But you've got Jermaine Dayberg-Muir, Jordan Marshall-King, like you said, a couple of experienced players, Wilson Groth. Jai Charlton's been around. So some of these kids now they've had a men's Premier Division at the Metro Cup under their belt now. They're going to be better for the run. They'll be looking to make their stamp in this year's competition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really well-balanced side that the Gold Coast have got there with a good mix of experience, and those really gun juniors have been dominating the 20s divisions all over the place for years.
In Redlands, coached by Dave Marr, like we said, a good victory last week. Again, a lot of the players that played for the Southern Storm last year coming back into the Redlands team. James Price, influential. We'll talk about more of him throughout the game, no doubt. Nathan Beaton was good last week. Campbell Rolfe, they have a nice balanced team. Again, young team, but plenty of experience with this team.
Yeah, really quality side, and a few outs tonight with some of the Russell boys, and that leads into our key player matchup, which is James Price and Wilson Groth. Unique key player matchup tonight. They teammates a couple of weeks ago, won a world championship representing Australia at the Touch World Cup, and now facing off against each other tonight, so it should be a cracking matchup.
What do you like about their two styles of play? A little bit different, the way that they go about it, but just they'll have their hands on the footy throughout this game a lot, but both attacking weapons, but different styles of players.
Yeah, definitely, and I think especially Wilson Groth, he's got that really, really good dive. He's such a tall guy, but gets so low, and he just scores diving tries that other players just simply couldn't score. And then, James Price, you'd definitely look for him to ball play, and especially in this Redlands side with a few of the younger boys, he'll be a real key feature in their attack tonight.
As mentioned, Country Club Colts taking on the Gold Coast in our second match for tonight. That'll take place at 8:10 in the Women's Premier Division. Looking forward to that. Again, Gold Coast, a fairly young team as well. They've got about 10 debutants, I think, on the cards for tonight. And Country Club Colts, they're always thereabouts in the Women's Premier Division. That shapes up to be a good game as well later on tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Quite a few debutants as well for Country Club Colts or players in their debut season. And haven't seen Gold Coast in the Women's Prem for a couple of years. So great to have them back in the top division, and it should be a cracking game.
Great conditions here at Whites Hill. As expected, the playing surface nice and dry, hot, warm condition. It's still winter. It is still officially winter. I'm sure those tuning in from down south might be a little bit jealous. We're shirt and shorts up here. I did bring the jumper because you never know what you're going to get when you get to Whites Hill. The jumper has gone, and now we are sitting in the high 20s here at the moment. So tricky conditions for the players tonight, but they'll be ready to rip and roar out here in tonight's match.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see how the players adjust as well, because as you flagged, Scotty, the temperature actually is likely to drop quite a bit as we get through towards 8 o'clock tonight, and the dew will probably come in and play a little bit of a factor as well, so it'll be interesting to see how the teams adjust throughout the game.
Redlands tap and get us underway. Had a really strong start last week against UQ. They scored straight from the tap-off. They'll be looking for it again here. It goes away from them this time. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there. Nick Home flowing the flick out the back. They had all their numbers on the left-hand side of the field. Just went away from them on the back end of the set there from Redlands.
Yeah, and decent start defensively from Gold Coast. Just saw them suck back towards the line a little bit as they initially got rolled in, and Redlands just ran himself out of space there. As Gold Coast now into their rucking set.
Yeah, good Warwicky just having to take an extra step back to get to the mark. They find a little bit of space down the right-hand side. Phillips didn't want to get his hands on the footy. Happy to wear that one on the melon.
Yeah, good place to kill the footy as well from the Gold Coast. Come up with the drop ball on the far side of the field, and Redlands going to have to work all the way laterally across the field now to get to their box.
Doing hard yards on the first two touches. As Price links up to Home. Dave Richards working them towards the halfway line. Really working hard this set, Redlands. Richards now picks it up and looks to take off himself. Not a bad option when they were struggling to gain metres throughout that set. Just to pick the ball up there. Richards showed a little bit of speed, almost broke through the defensive line.
Yeah, quality touch in defence there from Wilson Groth. And you notice immediately, Scotty, the game's got a really good intensity about it. We can hear plenty of noise from the boxes as well. It's like we should be in for a cracker tonight.
Tika gets away from the first defender, plays it on the 7. Looks like they're short in the middle there, inside. Leicester must have just got back. But good cover defence in the middle from Redlands as well. They snuffed that one out as Redlands earned themselves a penalty.
Yeah, good defence there from Redlands. Just stayed nice and tight in the middle. I think there may have been an offside player. The other middle definitely onside and making the touch. I think it was Brad Russell, I believe. So Redlands earned themselves a penalty early in the set. Should find themselves in good field position now as they come down.
They'll be nice and physical in defence here, Redlands. Charlton's made a couple of good touches and this time just gives away the penalty. It looked like he was going for 3 big efforts in a row. First 2 were good. Gives away the penalty on the 3rd. Full set of 6 here for Redlands as home. And pops over the top to Rolfe. Home goes away from a short ball, punching through. It opened up for them. Luckily they got their hands on the footy with more pressure. It's full set again.
Sweep around. Jumps on the outside. Good little dive. Smart play early in the touch count. When you get a repeat set, you don't want to go to those big long balls and risk a turnover early in the set. So you'll see the smart teams, as Redlands did there, look for a dive over option.
Outside the 7 again. Flat ball from half Rolfe, and they've actually picked it up. Good call as well.
Yep, little forward pass, I think. Yeah, the pop pass. See that a little bit, especially earlier in the seasons as the players just getting used to running their moves and running their sets for the first time. You see that first receiver just mistime their run a little bit, overdo it, and you'll see a fair few of those pop passes in the ruck get picked up by a referee team.
Yeah, now 3 referees tonight. Campbell Muir on field, Jordan Randall over the far side, Lachlan Freshwater on our commentary box side as the Coast pick up now, getting through into the in goal. There's a bit of contact off the ball as well. The referees are going to come together. Cade Robson picking up and going through from half. It is a penalty here to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, just see the signal there from Campbell Muir holding. Definitely a bit of contact off the ball there as the Redlands players were trying to mirror the Gold Coast attackers. And so it'll be the first full set of 6 for Gold Coast attacking the line.
Almost worked in the Gold Coast advantage in the end. Almost pushed him off into space as now Redlands pop up out of the line with Nick Home.
Just a quick comment on the referees as well. Same as the players, great to see 3 of our World Cup representatives backing up and straight into the first couple of rounds of the Metro Cup season. All 3 of these referees featuring on gold medal matches over in England. So we've got 3 of the best in control tonight.
He's one of the best for the Gold Coast. Wilson Groth, one of our key players. That was highlighted before the match, almost getting in between the middle defence.
Yeah, signature dive from Wilson Groth there. He's so dangerous on that. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that again this set.
Now Callagher punches through, throws the dummy, holds it himself. The good Ginger getting back to his feet.
A good couple of attacking plays there from Gold Coast, just safe in the early touches. Expect to see a ball playing now.
And short ball as it hits the grass.
Again, not a bad way to finish Gold Coast, making sure the ball goes to ground. Nice slow turnover. Now look to put plenty of pressure on Redlands here as they try and get to the box. But it will result in a penalty. Just a little bit much in the touch. You can see the signal from referee Jordan Randall. Just touch being made from the side, pushing him sideways off the ball. And a fresh set of 6 now for Redlands.
They're up for it in defence tonight, aren't they, the Gold Coast? These young fellas are putting their bodies in front. They're just going a fraction too far at the moment. It's nothing too over-vigorous, but they are definitely trying to make a statement in defence. Penalty here for Redlands. Plays offside from the Coast.
Yeah, just the number 12 there, Tane Clarkin. He's just caught himself probably only a step or 2 short, impacting the play. Referee Lockie Freshwater comes back for the penalty.
Tiki comes up to make the touch this time. Clarkin pops forward again. Beaten Price around on the sweep. Oh, wow. Up there to make the touch. And just a fraction too early. That was Kaya.
Just looking at the signal there, I think it actually might have been dropping early, which usually you'll see that occasion. I think Kaya saw the sweeper coming round, drop back to the line early, and that's allowed him to shoot up and shut it down. A good pick up from the referees.
Beaton gets another touch again, takes a deflection, still play on here. Price sums it up nicely, space in the corner, home with a big dive in the corner. And he gets it down before the covering defence comes across. Oh, spectacular play there from Redlands to get the opening try on the board.
Plenty going on here. We see Caleb gets his hand up in the passing lane, can't keep a hold of it, gets juggled again, and then great finish there from Marcus Home in the corner to open up the scoring in this match. And good heads-up play from James Price as well to stay alive, take that ball and realise that his winger was unmarked.
So Redlands open the scoring. Jordan Marshall-King with the bright fluorescent yellow boots.
You're not going to miss him tonight, are you?
Definitely not going to miss him tonight. His first set out on the field. Dayberg Muir punching in. Straight through. Gold Coast hit back to their influential players linking up there. Jordan Marshall-King and Drumming.
Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare defensively, that. Two of the better attacking players in the game, and we just see them combine nicely. Little short pass to Drummy, and that signature little bit of footwork and dive over at the line. Really good hit back from the Coast. They even it up at one try piece. They're up for this one, Scotty.
Here's the field and bound. Oh, Wilson Groth straight away from the tap off. Groth, he is streaking away. There's jerseys coming, and they will not get there. Wow. What about that? I can't say I've seen that too often. Wilson Groth, he knew that extra pop ball was coming. He stuck that big Duke out, and he was gone.
Oh, it's a Wilson Groth special. The long arms, just gets it out in the passing lane. Good presence of mind as well, not just to put his hand in the passing lane, but to make sure that the ball was going to pop up as well. Takes it and runs the length of the field. We pointed him out in the key player matchup. And a great try from him. Now we look to see, this time Redlands got the try. Gold Coast hit straight back. See if Redlands can hit back again now.
Price again, back on the inside to Lester. Nice touch. Kaitika. Fifth and final here for Redlands. And the Gold Coast defend. Let's see how they come out of their end. As Robson goes the dummy. Clarkin on the second touch. Look to make some changes now here, the Coast.
A nice bit of flow out of the box here for Gold Coast as they look to get a strike dump for Jai Charlton. Pop back on the inside.
Lennox Teacup picks up, shows it. It's another deflection off Redlands this time. There was a little push in the back there. So Price got his hands on the footy. He was down looking to regather and pull that one in. Just got a little push off the ball, which stopped him from regathering that football in.
Yep.
Good call from Campbell Muir.
Yeah, quality decision from the officials there. I think if that push doesn't happen, James Price probably regathers that ball.
Last touch. Home. That's Nick. Throws a nice ball. Dips away in the last minute.
Been really impressed so far with Gold Coast defensively. They've obviously let in the one try, but it's a bit of an unusual one with the deflection, but they've been really solid on their line. You mentioned before, Scotty, they're really muscling up, not letting Redlands have their own way. And aside from that try, they've been really, really good.
Gross tries to skip on the outside of Nick Home. He's been busy throughout the early stages of the game here for Redlands. He's going to take a breather now as Brad Russell just gets held up. Lester, no half in place. Unclean this set here for Redlands. Rolf makes his way into half. Beaton, again, coming into the last touch. Not too much doing for them at the moment. They've got numbers on the left-hand side of the field. Silky hands. And they're going to get a soft penalty as well. It's disappointing from Coast because they had Redlands really under control for the majority of that set of six.
You just see the signal there. I think touch coming in from the side might have got him in the face. Looks like it's the signal from Campbell Muir. So Redlands test the line early on first. But yeah, they've really been muscling up in defence, Gold Coast, and just on one or two occasions they've just pushed the referee's patience just a little bit too far.
Open side Home. That's Beaton. He comes off that left foot. Now Muir plays a penalty to the Gold Coast. Touch and pass as well. Sloppy there from Redlands.
Another good work. Good job and job done on their line for Gold Coast. They repel Redlands once again. See if they can roll through their box and get a good strike dump on the end of this one.
Clarkin holds it up. Gets contact in from the side. Redlands gives away the penalty now, deep in the count.
Yeah, another similar call there, just defender not quite getting in touch, making the touch from the side and pushing the player off the roll ball. See Kaya Castles with the footwork. There was a play on offside call there. I think it was the Redlands number 7 who was called offside, Campbell Rolfe. But luckily for him, other middle onside. So no play through advantage, but we do come back for the penalty.
Here's Robson, incorrect play the ball from the coast. Opportunity missed from the GC, still up by 1. Redlands looking for a penalty, they get it.
Yep, legs and knees all in the ruck there from the Gold Coast. It'll just be interesting to see now how much patience the referees have got. There's been a few penalties either way in that similar vein. Both sides just testing the limits early in the season, just trying to see what they can get away with.
Here's Richards, it's over the Gold Coast 10-metre line. Russell feeds it. As Lamberg comes back to Brad Russell on the 7 this time. Richards picks up, can't skip away. Marshall King looking to tap and get things moving again. Now it's just a frustrated penalty given away there from Redlands.
It's been a bit of a stop-start game with a few of these penalties coming in. It feels like neither side's just fully worked into what they probably want to do through the midfield area. It'll be interesting to see as we move later into this second half how the fatigue influences that.
Carter Skinner plays it in space for Dayberg Muir on the left. Comes back infield off the fingertips of Charlton. And Brad Russell makes the touch eventually. And a 0 for Redlands as well from the intercept. Lamberg comes over to the sideline. Previous Gold Coast player making his way into the Redlands team this season. James DeVere. It's it down for home off the fingertips there of Caleb Gulwariki.
See a penalty here. I think offside penalty, I believe, will be the call. Referee Jordan Randall. It would have been a 6 to go anyway.
Lester plays it, receives it back, left foot. He's had a couple of cracks at the line.
Yeah, I think feels like an important set here for Redlands. They've had a number of chances on line attack to put a try on. They've been repelled a number of times from Gold Coast.
He's getting caught up again. Redlands, Rolfe will swing back out to the right link position. Gets himself in a half now, early ball. Yeah, West are really pushing up out of the line early, the Gold Coast.
Yep, another offside call.
They've given a few away on the line,
yeah,
haven't they?
They have. I mentioned before, it'll be interesting to see how much patience the referees have got. You see Jordan Randall call Caleb out of the line. It's a 4 sub. And Redlands will have a 1-player advantage until Jordan Marshall King can make his way onto the field.
They go away from the sweeper this time. Smart footy there from Redlands. They had space to work with. They send the sweeper back around, and that's where the interchange player was coming onto the field. They shot it back out to the right-hand side. It was cool, calm heads there for Redlands to get their second on the board.
Yeah, quality set there from Redlands with the numbers. You really want to make the most of that. Normally you get 1, maybe 2 touches. As we just see clearly with the numerical advantage, Gold Coast trying to go for the Hail Mary bat down in the passing lane. Couldn't quite get enough of it. An important score there for Redlands.
Lennox Teaker working in the middle with Gross. Cut Marshall King goes long. They come up and make the touch on Dylan May. Back midfield they come. Kaya sweeping. Lennox holds it. And a nice comfortable touch from Brad Russell. He shuts down the set of 6, and Redlands straight back onto the footy.
Yeah, good defence there from Brad Russell. He's made a couple of really crucial reads in defence and saved a couple of potential tries. So now Redlands into their work.
DeVere ducks the head. There's Richards, loops one across, looking to try and flick that back on the inside to Beaton.
Yeah, really important time in this game now. About 4 minutes left to play in the first half. It's always interesting to see how fatigue affects the sides, especially in the first couple of weeks of competition. Most touch associations having their off season, so a lot of players working back into their fitness.
Clarkin trying to squeeze in between middle defenders. Devere takes the first hit up. Beaton, nice little ball out the back.
So there, Brad Russell, nice little bit of footwork. Gives his team a few extra metres. They look to strike here for Nick Home.
Here's Home picking it up. Russell comes back in field. Set up for Bradley this time around. He has a look at his options. Goes long this time. Nice slide defence.
Yeah, really good defence over there. It's Mike Phillips, I think, probably one of the better wing defenders in the game. Scores plenty of tries too on the other end. A really mature read there, chased out. He made sure he put himself in the passing lane to rule out any chance of a back-back.
Skinner plays at Charlton. Hasn't had too many opportunities so far here in the first half. Marshall King tries to put footwork on. Price comes up to make the touch. Bad place to start their set of 6 here, Redlands. Didn't pick up too many metres on the first touch. Ray Russell tries to square him up through the middle. As he links up with James Price. Space down the right-hand sideline here for Redlands as they make changes. Leicester straightens them up. Coming into the last touch. Beaten footwork. Short ball. Lovely work. Kingston Lamberg flicks it out the back.
To see there, Gold Coast straight onto the ball, looking to try and get that quick changeover, get Redlands on the back foot.
There's Dayberg Muir over the halfway line. Oh yeah, just took a little bit of a bobble. He's trying to get the footy down on the ground.
You can see that, filthy it himself, and be throwing the ball away. Delaying of game penalty. The ball's almost ended up down on their try line there, the Gold Coast. Penalty now. A minute and a half left on the clock here for Redlands. Plenty of time to get the full set in as they roll down towards the try line.
Rolf plays it. Devere in the middle. Oh, now Redlands turn it over. A little bit sloppy from both teams. Just over a minute left to go before the halftime break. Scores locked at 2 apiece. Here in round 2 of the Men's Premier Division Metro Cup. Important last minute though for both these two teams. Now Robson, we've already seen him get through from half once. Tika tries to go off the short ball to Clarkin.
Yeah, well defended there by Redlands. Just under a minute to play. Plenty of time to get through their set here and create an attacking opportunity as they get down towards the Gold Coast line.
Here's Lamberg. Switches in, Beaton. Russell picks up from half, just puts the afterburners on, tries to skip away from the defence. Good touch though from Robson.
Yeah, really good touch there from Robson. Dangerous in that situation, Brad Russells. We see another similar throwing the ball away. Penalty from the referees. And 25 seconds on the clock. If they're aware of that, Gold Coast, they might have one last opportunity in this half.
The penalty.
Offside penalty, Redlands winger over there, stopping short, coming back. We'll see now if the Gold Coast coaches are aware of the clock.
Redlands now holding their position. They'll have to come up and make the touch. Penalty. Hooter sounds in the background. Gold Coast are going to have one play here at them, and this is probably the man you want with the footy in hands, and the fancy footwork. And he can't link up with Dayberg Muir. So a tight contest, it's reflected in the scoreboard, 2 apiece. Had a little bit of everything there in the first half.
Yeah, really grindy game, a lot of penalties, a little bit stop-start at points, but quality defence from each side I think has been the standout. They've both had chances on the line, they've thrown plenty in attack, but the defences have been pretty solid. 2-all's a pretty low score line in the men's Premier these days. So it'll be interesting to see what tweaks both of the coaches can come up with at half-time to try and put a few more tries on the board in the second half.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break and be back with all the action here. Round 2 action in the Men's Premier. Scores locked up at 2 apiece, Gold Coast and Redlands.
This grass looks smart. and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it. So it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Welcome back to live action here at the Metro Cup Round 2. We've got a game on our hands here in the men's premiers, locked up at 2 tries apiece between the Gold Coast and Redlands. Kai Leggett has run up to the commentary box for the remainder of this game. Tight contest here, Kai. Not too much separating these two teams.
Mate, it would seem so. 2 apiece. Obviously, two very, very strong teams coming into this as well. So expect a very, very big half here out of both teams.
Yeah, definitely. It was a little bit clunky from both teams, to be fair. A couple of errors. We saw an intercept try. Wilson Groth off a tap-off from Redlands. So both teams will just be looking to do the little things right, I think, here in the second half and try and take this victory. Redlands looking to go 2-0 to start the season. Gold Coast looking for their first win of the competition. Following this match, we'll have women's premier action coming up. The Country Club Colts will be taking on the Gold Coast in that as well. A few new inclusions coming in for the Colts this season, which we'll get to call for the first time, and plenty of girls on debut for the Gold Coast as well. So looking to see the next generation of upcoming talent out on screen. And that match will follow the conclusion here of our men's premier match at about 10 past 8 is that local time here, and you can see that on KO Sports, and that'll be 10 past 10 over in New Zealand if you're watching on Sky Sports Next. Both teams out on field, ready to go. The Gold Coast will tap us off to get underway. What do you reckon here in the second half? Low scoring, like Zach said, coming into the halftime break, 2-2. Might open up a little bit here in the second half. Who knows? Dry conditions, fast track. It's perfect for playing footy.
It is very good out there. Having played the game before this one, it's definitely the 1%ers will definitely count coming into this second half here. As much as I am a betting man, I do think this will probably be a very, very close game all the way through. I really just expect a lot of back and forth action up and down the field. So a lot of fitness to come in this second half for both teams.
Our next match as well, the other men's premier match that's taking place tonight is the UQ Rebels, who went down to Redlands in week 1. They'll be taking on the Southern Storm. It's the Storm's first match of the year. A couple of changes for their lineup, with a few of the Redlands players making their way back to Redlands this year after playing for the Southern Storm, but their head coach Chris Ross leading a young team of Chargers. They'll be a team to watch, and looking forward to seeing them throughout the season this year as well. There's a Gold Coast straight away. Groth, Tika, that's Kaya, puts the brakes on and just get held up there in the play. The ball play on is the call for the time being. Now Lennox plays it quick, play the ball sharp as well, looks for offside players, earns a penalty. Nick Home having a chat with the on-field referee.
Not sure he's too happy with that one by the looks of it.
There was legs and all sorts of stuff going on there at that time. It's now the Tika brothers. Play on is the call. Just made it back to make the touch in the end. Advantage play there from Lachlan Freshwater.
It did look down on the sidelines there. It was quite a fiery game to start off with, and obviously we'll see a lot of that in this second half here.
Here's Groth, takes it right to the defensive line. He gets touched on the boot as he's passing the ball. So Redlands will get the penalty on their 7-metre line. Brad Russell will tap and restart us. Just takes it straight forward as Groth looks to pull the hand out of the touch, and they give a penalty away. Players caught short. They're from the coast. Richards taps and get us over the halfway line on the first touch. Lindbergh plays it in the midfield as Price slides across field. Lindbergh, Price on the sweep. Comes back infield. Rolf looks for phase play. Does get it down. Just hesitated a little bit. There's a bit of contact there between Lennox Tika and Rolf in the play the ball. Referees continue on. Gold Coast get the footy back in hand now as they make their way out of the end of the field.
A few words at the end of that play by the looks of things there. So can only go up from here, I think, for both teams.
Here's Clarkin working with Charlton in the middle. And Charlton puts on the footwork, gets away, kicks off that right foot. He's electric with speed. And they make the touch on him. First real decent opportunity and look there for Jai Charlton in this game. Might be one to watch here in the second half. He comes up and makes the touch now on Rolf. There's Price heads to the interchange area. Thompson, nice ball off the hip to De Vere. He gets him back in the midfield. Russell will have a look. Beaten, beautiful ball over the top. Work to do here in the corner. Big chase in the corner. And the touch.
God, he's got there.
Wow, that's a huge touch. Good Wairiki. There's questions being asked. I think he's said to the referee, didn't make the touch. Great honesty there from Caleb, because gee whiz, he did great work to get it across the park and have an opportunity to make the touch. But what about the ball from Nathan Beaton? That is champagne footy.
Very, very good, that. Very, very good. I think it's just the awareness, too, that knowing where the winger was there as they took off really on that long side play there. You see a big 4-on-3 here and finds that little link hole and manages to go straight over the shoulder. You don't really get much better than that.
Let's take a look in the corner. He was full stretch.
Nearly got there.
Great chase. Redlands in front. 3-2. Gold Coast now from the restart. Nice footwork off the left. It's taken a little deflection. They'll get a repeat set.
That's what you need here. Another little attacking set into the line here. Big chance to get it really back to even. Exactly what Gold Coast will need.
Won't hold things up as they get their complement back onto the park. Made a couple of changes after the restart. Marshall King sweeps around. Tika holds it. Kaya plays it. Marshall King shows it to him. Leans one over the top. Had work to do there, Thompson, to make the touch, and he does it. Great recovery. Robson, nice little late ball at the line, and Robson skips away from Thompson this time around. He can't make back-to-back efforts on the line. Cade Robson scores for the Coast, and we'll lock back up at threes.
As we said, mate, coming into that line there, they just look quite dangerous really going down that right-hand side of the field, and it was just another little sneaky right-hand side play here. Little bounce on that outside there and just really had him for pace.
He's been good for the Coast throughout this game, Cade Robson, but it was lovely, like you said, Kyle, lovely little bounce-out ball, all flat back on the inside there from Rolf. Would have got away with one, Redlands, as Leicester dances. Looking to try and earn his team a penalty. Gold Coast hold firm in defence on their line. Here's Richards, plays it home, has a look up. Rolf is punching through a hole, great touch. Coming in there, Dylan May to do work from the wing. Home comes to him again, back out towards May. Ball bounces off. Tiohari in the corner. Infield with Groth on the first one. Clarkin diving as he passes to Dayberg Muir. Here's Kaiatika. He's had plenty of touches.
Yeah, that's a really good roll.
Yeah, earns his team a penalty. Happy to wear the contact.
Big set this for Gold Coast here. If they can get one on the board back over the Redlands, it'll really turn the tide here for the second half. It's really coming over onto this right side here with Geordie Marshall-King. Look for him to really run a lot of this attack now.
Sends it back in field. It's Tika. It's Kaya. Nice ball back out in front of Marshall-King.
No.
Puts it on a dime. 360. Referees just confirming. I think Marshall-King's happy. He heads himself back to the 7. Charlton right foot almost slices in between. Leicester's claiming the touch. Last one of the set here for the Coast. Marshall-King out in front for Charlton. And another big touch. This time Dave Richards on the line. New contact there, play on. As Marshall-King pops back up to his feet. Gold Coast, again, want to be physical, trying to earn possession back of the footy. Beaton just gets the ball back in field. Devere switches in Price. Get himself into half here. James Price, it's the last touch though, nothing doing for Redlands. And they comfortably come up and make the touch. It's lost their way towards the back end of the set there, Redlands.
Did look good coming into the line there. That I think just lost track of the touch count there, which is obviously a little bit unfortunate, but gives Gold Coast a bit of a roll into the line here. It's something that Redlands don't want to do a lot more of for the rest of this game.
Kai Castles dances around. Really good press in the midfield at the moment now as Dayberg Muir shows it, takes it to the line, ball out in front, Lennox Tika.
Can't be letting him have much room, that's for sure.
No, absolutely. Don't want to hold off him. Now a penalty against Redlands coming out of their end of the field. Sloppy with footy in hand. Golden opportunity here for the Coast. Full set to work with. Strike out on the park at the moment. Dayberg Muir. Lennox Tika. Kai Tika's making his way back on. As they burn a touch as Kai gets himself into position.
Uh-oh.
Here he is, ball in hand. Dayberg Muir sweeps. Comes back to Lennox. Popping up out of the line there, Nick Home. Makes a good touch. Here's Lennox. Footwork. Dances away. Takes him on himself. Good defence on the line. It's Home again, is it? Or Bradley Russell. That time it was Bradley.
Good defence there to compete on that short side and really shut them down in what looked like a really, really good attacking set there. So big 11 minutes to come here for both teams.
There's Russell down the sideline. Hurry back into Beaton. Devere plays it on the last. Rolfe hits a link ball. Oh, Beaton with the touch again. He's got the soft hands tonight. Just had a little bit of extra mustard on that one. Dangerous on fifth play out here in the left link position tonight, Beaton. Groth takes a breather. As Castles gets him forward. Skinner does the same. They look short here, Redlands.
Yep. Just had a lot more roll into that line there, Scotty. Gold Coast, they've had that for the last 3 or 4 sets now, and it's kind of really set them up to come into the line a lot quicker and a lot easier as well, and it gives them a repeat set here as well. Look to Drummy for doing a lot of this attacking work here.
Here he comes on the sweep. This time around, that familiar left foot. Looking for offside players. Redlands on the line. Rolfe in the middle making the touch. Here's Charlton, plays it outside the 7, takes him back on. Nice ball back on the inside. Lennox Tika scores for the Coast. Smart football, and they're back up by 1.
It's just really good footy again, and they're just doing little 1%ers coming into the line, right? And that started a minute and a half ago from the roll into the line that they created. The middle's just parted there. Really drive a semi-trailer through that hole.
And sharp on the right foot. Here's Charlton. Great support. Back there from Lennox Tika. This back and forth battle continues between these two teams. 9.5 to go here in the second half. Round 2 of the Metro Cup. Here's Richards. Holds it up. Lamberg played on the 7-metre line. Home, tough ball to take. Skinner ducks the head on the first as Marshall King comes across field. Castle's over the halfway line. They're rolling downfield nicely. Here the coast. Robson plays it. Groth picks it up on the last touch. Looked to play out the back, I think was the call. It comes into the hands there of Robson.
It's just that roll again coming along. They're making it look so easy and so smooth coming. It really gives them that, fourth, fifth touch, 10, 15 metres out, which is exactly what you want to put pressure on the Redlands with.
Beaton unloads. As they work through the middle, Russell picks up, comes off that right foot. Rolfe tries to thread it through the back. Back and forth battle at the moment. Although the Coast in front on the scoreboard. He's really working hard to try and level things back up again. This is a flat set here for the Coast. Haven't seen that familiar punch forward. That's a nice little ball there from Tika. They put it through the hands. Phillips looks to come back in. Charlton does a great job to dive and take that one. They'll get a repeat set as well off the hands. As Phillips has to work hard to get back into acting half. He was down on field 2. Here's Castle's ball out in front. They'll come back and play it. With still touches to work with here, the Coast. Lennox Tika, the man who scored the last try. They go back to him now. He's got the hot hand.
Yeah.
Little stutter off that left foot. He gets the ball down so quickly. And they're all high fives here. The Coast are up by 2.
It's just clean. It's just clean, good footy, and it probably didn't help the Redlands either. He scored right in front of the rest of their cheer squad in front of them there, but it's just really, really good footy. And you talk about taking on the player that's not back on side, and that's just a really, really good example of that.
A bit more pressure. Biggest margin of the game as well. 2 tries. In favour of the Gold Coast. Redlands from the restart. Oh, up in Price's face again. Too quick there. Now we saw that a few times. They were happy really from that link position. Shooting up early off that sweep. I think they know Price is the danger man in that position. They're really getting up early. They have to be careful because they saw a full substitution. And this time they've got players offside. And home, good awareness to slide in and carry on. And it gets them back into the game, and that margin comes back down to 1.
I mean, they tried at one side and they tried to get on the other side. Unfortunately, I think Drummy just didn't get back on side that one step. I think he was maybe more than a step off the line there by the looks of things. But yeah, it's a good play if you can pull it off and you can get up off the line very quickly. But it's very, very hard sometimes to really know where that back line is. And, the Redlands have really taken over in that part there.
It's clear that it's a bit of a tactic from the team tonight. Those links have really been pushing up hard off their line. Getting that timing right, and they will definitely be stuffing things out, but they've given some penalties away tonight.
Oh, no.
Now Robson, footwork, loops one around. He gets it back off the deflection.
You're kidding.
Referees are confirming. I think that looks pretty good from here.
Now, I don't have a refereeing badge, but that did look quite good.
They point to the spot. So it looked like they had them covered as we take a look at the replay. Robson it was great footwork to start with. Just threw a ball back on the inside, hoping to link up with Marshall King. You can see going the high fives there. Comes off Bradley Russell. Straight back into the hands, right under the posts. Thank you very much.
I think fortunate's the right word there. That's just good heads-up footy, knowing that the ball's up in the air and knowing where it is. And opportunistic's probably the better word.
Now they'll be looking to try and score straight away here. Gold Coast players offside. Beaton will take advantage. Goes into the in-goal area. Oh, he's talking about smart footy down one end. That is smart footy down the other as well. They could have just pulled up stumps there, Redlands, and taken the penalty. Got another repeat set, but they knew they had them in trouble. And Beaton plays on. You see the incidental contact there. And Russell supports beautifully back on the inside. And they had to score there just to keep that pressure on because the clock is starting to become a bit of a factor in this one now as well.
Talk about tennis. Really, it's back and forth action really at the moment. It's just no teams letting up, and it's really good Premier football.
Oh, great ball from Groth to Charlton, who eventually puts it over for another try. We said it might open up in the second half. It's taken to the back end of the second half. to really see some points on the board, but we've seen 3 on the trot there. 3 sets in a row, and Groth, he had him on ice.
Really anything you can do, I can do better at the moment. I think it's just back and forth footy. Really good eyes up there, very good awareness, knowing that that link will shut. You're probably really going to look at Redlands doing something. Imagine if they do it again.
You've made the call. Let's see how they go. They've got their right players on the field as Russell tries to skip away, and Robson makes a big touch defending his line.
That'll be 10.
They do get marched. And Russell not returning the football back to the mark. And Skinner will get sent back to that mark to make the tap. He'll take a breather now as replacement players will come on here for the Coast. Good meters there from Marshall King.
They can get one here, it'll nearly be the nail in the coffin, I think.
Clarkin plays it. Nice clean pickup from Lennox Tika. Feeds it to brother Kaya. Just inside the 7 now. Lennox rips. Nice take. And they're back onto the footy and off they go. Russell ducks ahead as he plays it. Price follows suit. Pressure from Clarkin in the midfield. Leicester picks up good meters. They'll need someone to duck their head here again. And to clean play the ball down. Richards, they're happy to roll back at the moment, the Coast. They play it on the 7 as they play out the back home, but they got them 2-on-2. Good defensive back end there for the Coast. They were just happy to roll back and hit their line.
Really good play, that.
Now Kaya, play on. Oh, we could hear the calls. Eventually, a Redlands player must have made the touch in an onside position.
Big 2 minutes here for the Redlands. They need to get a stop and then go straight back down the other end of the field to really give them some momentum here. 2 touchdowns behind. Anything can happen in touches, we know, Scotty, but as long as the clock keeps going down, it's drifting away from a little bit.
Look for this man to manage this set of 6. Marshall King gets away from Leicester, skips away again, and it's just seconds off the clock. The more time they have footy in their hands here, the Coast. They've got Groth now working with Charlton. Gets early ball, left foot. Marshall King diving away from the diving defence there of Nick Home, who makes the touch. Last one of the set now. Ball hits the deck. Redlands scramble to get back on the footy. 1:20. The clock looks like it's going to get away from them. Leicester gets heavy contact. Castles and Groth there. 2 players coming in going whack. Making them work hard for their meterage. They probably won't be too disappointed giving that penalty away.
I wouldn't think so.
Just again took some extra seconds off the clock. Richards rolls downfield.
And he said as good as other to score, it'll be this one.
Price, DeVere. Here comes James. They go away from him.
God.
DeVere slices through. Absolutely sold them. James DeVere, one of the experienced heads in this team. When you need your big players to step up and take control, he did exactly just that.
God, I think that middle ended up in the canteen up here. It sold him that much.
Huge dummy. And the clock, though, is going to get away from them. And too little, too late, unless they can come up with a miracle play here, Redlands. Robson just securing that football. They don't need to throw it around too much now, and they'll get a repeat set. They're still happy to play Gold Coast footy. They don't worry about the clock or the scoreboard. They love scoring points. Hooter sounds, and the Gold Coast are going to get it done. They've chalked up their first victory of the Metro Cup season. Quality finish. Redlands pushed them right to the full-time whistle, going down by the 1 try in the end. But a good win there for the Gold Coast to kickstart their campaign.
Credit where credit is due. I think Redlands really came out in that second half and really took it to them. I think at the end of the day, look, Gold Coast just completed well. And, you know, we're talking halfway through that second half there about the role coming out of their defensive line into their attacking line. Gold Coast just did that just a fraction better and really gave them that kind of those chances that you really need to really separate yourself away on the scoreboard.
Country Club Colts and Gold Coast coming up next in the Women's Premier. Stay tuned. More live action coming here from the Metro Cup.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Welcome back to live action here at the Metro Cup. We move on to Women's Premier Round 2 action now. The Country Club Colts taking on the Gold Coast. Scott McAllister and Kai Leggett in commentary for this match. The Colts, they are coming in off a 4-0 loss last week against Brothers. We take a look at their lineup tonight. Still got some plenty of experience across their team list. Grace Eisel, their captain in particular, Talia Rolfe, has played a lot of football for this club. Georgia Hudson as well, Chloe Sortel. So they've got still plenty of experience, but some new players coming in tonight. You can see their debutantes highlighted there. Gemma Dings, Evie Alpoulis, Emelita Case and Lily Finger. Georgia Kett as well making debuts tonight for the club.
It is a younger side this year for the Country Club Colts. Obviously no favouritism for me at all. But in saying that, look, they will obviously come out and play a good brand of footy, and against what can only be described as a really good Gold Coast side as well. Be a very tight game, I think. Yes,
it's going to be close, and you can see the debutants that are on screen for the Gold Coast team as well. A young team, but plenty of talent across the park, and their coach, Lauren Dayberg-Muir, very experienced and definitely a coach on the rise as well. She's doing some great things down on the coast and in the South Queensland region. So, yeah, this is going to be a good contest. It's hard to probably gauge a bit of a gauge of how these two teams are going to play in this game. We haven't seen either of them in the Metro Cup season on the coverage as of yet. Toss of a coin for me.
But as much as you don't want to make it guesswork, I think it is at the moment. Really, both teams can come out really, really strong, and I think that's probably what's going to happen here with, as we said, two very young teams and what can only be a very long season as well coming up. So, obviously, I think it'll be a very good game.
Yeah, Gold Coast, this is their first match of the season as well. They're coming off the bye last week, so they'll be eager and ready to go tonight. Both teams looking to have better seasons. Last year, the Country Club Colts, they did make it through to the semi-final, didn't progress through to the grand final. Rebels taking on the Storm in that one, and the Gold Coast missed out on the finals last year. They'll be looking to creep their way into a semi-final this time around. Hopefully it's a big season ahead for the girls from the coast. If you're tuning in for the first time to the Metro Cup coverage on KS Sports or Sky Sports Next in New Zealand, Metro Cup is one of the premier competitions here in Southeast Queensland, club-based. We've got teams like the Gold Coast making their way down the M1 from about an hour south here of Brisbane. Country Club Colts are a Brisbane-based team. Kai Leggett is a representative of the Colts. We've got Premier action as well as Division 1, which Kai plays in. Division 2, all abilities competitions as well here at the Metro Cup. We focus our attention here on the Women's Premier Division. Talia Rolfe there putting some footwork on nice and early. Definitely a player to watch that we've highlighted. As is this young lady in the 17, Chloe Tunks, sends a nice ball, early release out into the corner. The referee's just confirming here, it looks very close. They're going to point to the spot. And the Colts start in perfect fashion. They get the first try on the board.
So you want to start? I think that's exactly how you want to do it, straight off the tap-off. And once you get that ball down there, there's really no way for the link to really get back as quick as she possibly can. And it's just a great outball there. And Lily Finger's done really well to finish off with the winger there.
It was a nice early release as well, with not much room to work with down that sideline. Gave the winger all the opportunity to get that ball down on the deck before the cover defence came across. And see how the Coast go with footy in hand for the first time. Charlie Matul. They just dropped the ball there. I was just going to make mention of Shatali Mooney Stack. Number 12, one to watch there for the Coast tonight.
Good roll out of the line there. That's exactly what you need to get your set going forward.
Here's Izell, captain for this team this year. As they hold things up coming into the last touch. Ball out in front off the fingertips there of Izell. As Jordan Randall gives the penalty away. Jordan Randall, Campbell Muir doing back-to-back efforts. We saw them in the match before. Zoe Genrick in the commentary box sideline at the moment. As the Coast a little bit flat as changes make their way onto the field. Still haven't progressed over the halfway line. Better roll forward for them now.
Roll.
Looking for clean, play the ball. It was good contact there. As they came into half, they'll send the ball over the sideline. They've at least finished on the right side of the field for them.
Yeah, that last touch was key for the Colts there. It did stop a little bit of momentum, but as you can see here, our Gold Coast are really just doing the exact same thing back to them.
Getting up and putting some pressure on. As the Colts now working hard to get changes on the park. They're going to have to send replacement players around behind that 10-metre line. As Adams links up, she'll just pick the ball up and go down the sideline. Oh, flings it back on the inside. Contain them to their own half there.
Very good defensive set, mate, there for Gold Coast to really put a halt to what was going to looking at least like to be a very good drive there for the Colts, but Gold Coast did really, really well to keep them in their own half.
Holloway Samuels will play it a little bit isolated as changes still making their way on here for the Coast. Holloway Samuels again looking for anybody
No one
to support up with. She's been isolated a couple of times. They get their troops back out onto the park now, coming into the last. Looping ball out to the right-hand side. They'll finish it off on the right corner. Wonder if this hurt them in that set there where they had to have a couple of stop starts and get themselves back going again.
Better roll here for the Colts here coming into the fourth touch.
Adams with that familiar fast footwork as Rolfe off the mark with no half in place. And look to go down the short side. Rolfe almost creates a bit of space. Nice comfortable touch in the end. Now Country Club trying to get up out of the line. As Rolfe makes the touch. Isdale plays it. Trying to push it through the hands. Replacement plays flowing around, still getting themselves into the position coming into the last touch. It's Plath. Goes through the hands, McLaren, and finishes the set off. Now it's the Gold Coast only just getting over the halfway line, but now Country Club on the first touch. It's a really defensive game at the moment, isn't it?
Lots of defence happening here at the moment. That's kind of the exact role that you want coming into what would have been a good attacking set, but it's obviously a bit unfortunate the error was made there, but there hasn't really been much down either end of the field. It's been very, very defensive heavy, and you know, I kind of half expected the game to go that way, and it's turned out.
Gold Coast skipping down towards the attacking zone. Mooney Stack will play it on the 7. Nice dive in at the line. Michaeli Robust will come back and play it. Go away from Robust. As Williams He goes across field. It's caught in acting half. And Isdale on the first time. Ball just slipping out of the hands. Campbell Muir happy for Isdale to pick it back up and play it. As Tunks puts it through the hands, we see the ball down on the deck again. Stake here, and now the Gold Coast put it through the hands as Colts made changes as the mistake was taking place. Now it's the Gold Coast who will make some changes. Tegan Haig with ball in hand. Only 2 players on the park here for the Coast.
Bulk room out there at the moment for lots to happen.
Now across field, away from the sweeper in Haig, and space on the left-hand side. Beautifully set up in the end. Cool heads prevail there for this young Gold Coast team as they had those replacement players finally make their way onto the park. The very next play where they had their full set of 6, they went straight to work and they get their second try on the board.
Nearly a 4-on-2 there, the way that the whole team just really swept on, and it just created a lot more options. And as we saw, there's just a great finish, that long ball there. It's right on the money.
Yeah, correction, that's their first. We're locked up at 1 apiece. A quality way to get your first try on the board there from the Coast. Ooh. Slipping over, and back up onto the feet. There's Rolf.
I think we were talking about it before, how it looks really dry. It's actually quite deceiving. To an extent, it is dry, but you just got to be really careful with, you know, the 1%ers in the ruck, holding the ball, getting your hand out, beating them to the bend, that kind of thing. There's a lot of dew, and it's quite humid out as well. So just doing the little 1%ers with the ball right will really probably give an advantage to either side here.
Hey, punching up out of the line forces the Colts to have to readjust. There's Tunks. He comes back infield and get himself into half. They got the numbers on the left. Nice work from Rolf. Quick play the ball. Finger has a look up. Footwork sends it back infield. Good scramble defense here from the Coast. Can they continue it on for the remainder of the set? Rolf ball out in front. Footwork back on the inside. They just couldn't hang on anymore. It was good footy from both teams. But again, the experience out there of Talia Rolf links up with Georgia Kett, one of the debutants for the Colts. And they're back in front.
It's just smart footy, that too. They're just knowing where the defenders are and knowing where your advantage is, and just having them really run at the line there and not actually stopping. It just created that 3-on-2 overlap, and they finished really, really well.
So the Colts back in front, 2-1. Gold Coast will be looking to respond here from the restart. Skipping across field, nice slide defence though from Country Club. Forces to pull themselves back out. And nice work in the middle. Isdale, comfortable in defence, comes up and makes the touch. Here she is, ball in hand. There's plenty of work for this Colts team. They go away from their substitution side of the field this time around. All 6 players staying on here for the Colts.
2 touches to go here. Need a big finish here.
Now they'll make a couple of changes on the back end of the set. Sankey plays it. Adams from half, picks up left foot. There's some options. They had numbers on the right-hand side. Ball hits the deck. Out in front.
Colts are playing well at the moment. They are creating those overlaps and those 4-and-3s, which is obviously what they're wanting to do against this Gold Coast side, who are, you know, throwing a lot at them in defence, especially early doors in the first couple of touches. So to finish off the way that they are is a real credit to them at the moment.
Making good meters here, the Coast. Comfortable in defence. Country Club. Solid contact on the first touch. The Gold Coast again continue this defensive pressure, forcing the Colts to have to throw the footy around and try and get themselves out of trouble.
They do.
And Tunks does a good job just to get away from the first defender, find a little bit of space. Now they're isolated again. And again, kicking away from that defender. Last touch coming in. Tunks again with another touch. And comfortable there. Michaela Robust. They shut that set of 6 down. Here she is, ball in hand. Gets a bit of contact as well as she makes her way over to the box. They got their changes on A little bit cleaner this time around as the ball just slipping out of the hands. Unfortunate there, Harper Eldridge.
This is the kind of role that Country Club need here coming into the line. That's the second or third touch, and they're just over halfway. It's a really good bounce there.
Oh, nice slicing through. Watkins all space to work with. Watkins links up with Izell again. Gets another touch, just comes off the shoulders. So back and forth battle continues here between these teams. Tight contest, almost playing between the 10s at the moment.
Really good footy, you know. We were saying that before the start of the game. You know, we're not really sure what to expect, and we both said that they're very young teams, very competitive, and you know we've had 10 minutes of back and forth footy, and then the last kind of really 5 minutes has been very, very good, both attacking and defensively, and it's coming into the back end of this first half. Really could go either way.
Nice little wraparound play from the Colts as they put it through the hands. Hudson plays it. Adams holds it, now links up nicely. Back in the middle of the field. Picking up better meters this time around, the Colts. Adams gets away from one, he gets away from two and picks up a penalty. Much needed penalty as well. A full set of 6 to work with as Adams taps it on the Gold Coast 10-metre line. They're coming up to Hudson. Finger plays it. They're happy just to roll down towards that 7-metre line at the moment here, the Colts. Now, Finger. Nice early ball. Good defence. Pretty comfortable there in that set of 6, the Coast.
Did look very, very comfortable there, but it was obviously a very good attacking set there. She'll actually be quite dangerous if she does get to run from half again, Lily. So just a quick sideways movement as well. It creates a lot of space. And they're doing a really, really good defensive set here as well.
A little bit flat, the Coast. But coming into the last touch. They got all their numbers on the right. Oh, dummy.
Oh, I fell for that.
Dummy to herself in the end. Country Club. Through the hands. Space down the left. Nice work from Hudson. Just tucks the ball under the arm. Gets it down cleanly on the deck. Yep. And a forward pass has been called. Be right on the halfway line here for the Gold Coast. 5.5 to go.
Big 5 this, both teams. Gold Coast can get one back here. It'll make things a very interesting game coming into the second half.
Sampson will hold things up as Haig gets her way out onto the park. And she is offloading. Last touch. And the touch is made there on Watkins. Getting a march downfield here. And penalty given away from the Coast. Returning the footy back to the mark.
Gold Coast are doing a really, really good job of flooding their box and just really putting a lot of pressure on that subset for the Colts here. It's really making them go a lot wider around the field and really obviously not making as much ground as they want to. As they find a half here and look to go that short ball, they're finishing off really, really well, the Colts, but Gold Coast are doing a really, really good job at getting the 3rd and 4th touch on the halfway line.
This might be a chance here for Country Club again. They come and put some pressure on. The changes come on sporadically here for the Coast. Coley plays it, last touch. Skipping across field, Nizell, he's been really busy as expected for the Colts. Comes up and makes a touch. She'll take the first hit up here as well. That's Tunks who gets the first possession. Now Izell puts it through the hands. Finger has also had plenty of touches. Better set coming out of trouble this time around for Country Club. Adams gets them back in towards the middle of the field. Early ball, Adams takes off. And Sankey just out of the hands. Floating forward. So the Gold Coast will tap and restart. Just over 3 minutes left here in the first half. This could be a big set of 6 for the Gold Coast. I mean, you can try and get some points, but there's space on the right. They end up putting the brakes on.
Big 2 touches here. Big 2 touches here.
A little bit flat coming into that. And as a result, a forward pass has been given. Just didn't quite have the flow throughout the early touches in that set, did they? And it's funny how often it just continues on in the back end of your set. You just can't seem to get yourself out of trouble. You end up throwing those passes to try and get yourself on the front foot. And often when you're flat-footed like that, you'll pick up a forward pass. Great touch. Mooney stacked there full stretch.
Well, you talk about momentum coming into the line as well. That first sort of 10 minutes really, I think, there was a lot of fatigue in that first 10 minutes, I think, really having that big defensive effort. And it's not so much, it's just really, really obviously coming into the last, 2 minutes of this half. It's making things a lot harder to really complete.
Looking for the half, just had to take an extra couple of steps to get there.
Oh,
nice
ball.
looping ball though. Punching through a hole, it's still worth a good option. And the last touch. Just get that ball down on the deck, have people punching in through holes.
Number 10.
A minute 45 until the break. Country Club putting it through the hands here on the first touch. Roth will go forward. Zell back out onto the park. Watkins. Sawtell, I should say, in the 14 for the Colts. Here she is in from half. Sawtell picks up, back in. Nice quick play the ball. And Sawtell has a look up, switches back in, and gets a late penalty in the count. And those ones hurt.
They do, unfortunately. On that fifth and last touch, it's nearly criminal to give away a penalty there, or have a 6 to go. Let's see if the Colts can do something here with a minute to go.
Sankey on the sweep. Nice ball back to Izell. And a huge touch. And coming across and defending the line. It's a beautiful ball. Linking up there from Carla Sankey. Here she is again. Comes back out to Poulis. Not much doing on the right for the Colts. Last touch. Looked at chance their hand. Little pop play. And touch has been made as the ball has been thrown. So the clock's starting to wind down here before the halftime break. Gold Coast will probably just see this set of 6 out. As Haig puts it through the hands. Players still coming onto the field here for the Coast. And Campbell Muir's seen a little mistake. We'll see if a penalty is blown first. We'll go for oranges instead. Close contest. It is the Colts in front by 1, but the Coast definitely in this game.
Yes, as we're saying, it's really back and forth for the first part of that half there. Really good footy from both teams being played here as well, and I kind of expect the same out of the second half as well, so definitely stick around and watch this one. Yeah,
close contest here. Round 2, the Women's Premier. Halftime score, Country Club 2, Gold Coast 1.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Welcome back to the Metro Cup. We're at halftime here in the Women's Premier Division. 2-1 is the score. Colts in front over the Gold Coast. You can see the head coach there, Craig Morrow, giving some halftime instructions. What do you think, Kai? What are the key messages here for both these two teams?
Oh, well, I think that Gold Coast are defending very, very well. They're making, obviously, Country Club having a lot of errors coming out of their half, which is putting a lot of pressure on the back end of their set. They're flooding the box really, really well. So I think Craig will be really telling them just to watch when they do come over to this side of the box and just try and make it a little bit cleaner. So when they do exit, they're obviously setting themselves up, coming into their half for some bit more attacking football. And I think it's the same both ways as well. You know, Gold Coast look really, really good when they're rolling into the line and giving themselves a chance. And, you know, as I say, it's 2-1. Anything can really happen in the last 20 minutes.
It was a big defensive first half from both these two teams. You just touched on it there. How do you get away, particularly the first two touches? Both two teams you can really see are really sort of jamming up and trying to put that ascendancy on it at the start. If you're ball in hand and you've got defending players coming up at you like both these two teams are, how can you get yourself out of trouble and try to get yourself to the box or downfield?
I think the first two touches, for me, really, and this is how I've always played, you know, coming up, you know, through the kind of CQ Queensland, you just got to go forward, get those first two touches forward and then play a bit of eyes-up footy. Especially if you're coming into the box and they're sending two or three people over to really try and stop that sub as much as they can. You just got to really play eyes up. And if that means going the other way for one touch and really spacing out the team while you get two or three people on, then you've sort of got to do it sometimes. But as you saw there, in kind of the back half of that first half, Country Club really started to get a wider sweep as well, which really brought that pressure away from them. And it really brings it back this way as well, and obviously can bring into, you know, a 4-on-3 or a 3-on-2, and it, you know, they created a lot of that. I think they just obviously need to do it for the next 20 minutes and do it clean to really put the pressure on the Gold Coast here and see if they continue to do that with their defensive set.
Yeah, you can catch the Metro Cup live and free each and every week on KO Sports here in Australia and Sky Sports Next over in New Zealand. Round 3 matches next week at 7:20 local time here in Brisbane. You'll see the UQ Rebels taking on Brothers in the Women's Premier Grade, and at 8:10, that is 10 past 10 over in New Zealand if you're on Sky Sports Next, Men's Premier Southern Storm and the Country Club Colts, the defending champions. We'll be seeing them for the first time, and the Southern Storm. Looking forward to that match next week. Both those two teams on your screens for the first time this season. That sets up to be a pretty quality way to round out round 3 next week, right?
That'll be a very, very good game. That one very quick. Having trained with them on Thursday, they're on fire. I expect a lot to come out of that game.
Yeah, looking to go back-to-back the Colts. And they've got the lineup yet again to do it. The majority of the players back in for 2024. Looking forward to seeing them. But it is the women's Colts team we've got our attention on here tonight in this game as the Gold Coast spill the ball off a little tap restart play. Rolf will play it and get things back underway. She does go straight forward on the second. And there's Tunks on the third. And this is what you were talking about. So they've actually gone the first 3 touches. Haven't even looked like coming to the box. And I think it's a good play. That's probably experience from Craig Morrow. Like we saw him at the halftime break there. He's coached in the Australian system before. He's with Queensland Women's Open coach for a number of years as well. Has had these girls for a long time in the Colts setup. Why do you need to come to the box? You've just had a halftime break.
Exactly.
He's just kept the same 6 on, direct on the first 3 touches. They get the penalty. They get another one in this set as well. Smart footy.
So exactly right, mate. It's just smart footy, and it's really key to build momentum in those first 2 touches, so you're not trying to burn as much energy as you can to sub. And that would have been the message as well, is once you get that stop, just get to the middle of the field and go forward and give yourself a chance at really getting a roll and into the attacking set.
Here's Izell, comes off that left foot, beautiful ball, smart play. They got Faze, just probably held onto the footy. They might get a penalty here. Campbell Muir holds things up, has a quick chat with Jordan Randall. They will come back and give a penalty here to the Country Club Colts. Offside, but you were right, just an early release. They could have taken that advantage. They had because of space and the numbers out on the right. They get the penalty regardless. They might lose a player here as well, the Gold Coast, for substitution. Tegan Haig is gone, so momentarily they've got the numbers advantage here, Country Club. As they switch in, Coming back to Izell, they still haven't got the replacement player on the park yet. The Coast just hitting the line now as Izell slices through. Big diving effort out the back and off the fingertips. I think the touch was made on Izell as she was throwing the pass. They couldn't capitalise on that opportunity. It felt like an age before that replacement player made their way onto the park for the Coast. They managed to hold on.
They did really well there, Country Club, to give themselves a chance coming into that line there. If it's 6-on-5, you just really got to run them. You've got the advantage already. You don't really need to try anything fancy. You just got to run, and they had that gap, and it nearly came off.
A bit more running in that set as well from the Gold Coast as they came from deep down their end of the field. Country Club roll and restart. And see how they go about it this time around. A little bit flat. And it seems like they've got getting to the box in their mind already.
See that there. You see when they do it again, they'll throw the defender 1, 3, and 4 up, and 1, 4, and 5 up, and 2 and 3 will just hold, and they'll push everyone over this way and really cram Country Club.
And they forced the mistake. Gives himself a full set of 6 here in great attacking position. Looking to level up the scoring. They play it just shy of the 7. Watkins takes him on. Beautiful ball off the hip. Took it right to the line. Referees haven't confirmed as of yet. And now they'll point to the spot. And it all comes down to that defensive pressure again, getting the football back in good attacking position, but this is a really good finish here from the Coast.
Really good sweeper there, just got on the outside of that middle shoulder and took off and really made that link commit to coming in, and once she came in, it was just an easy draw and pass to finish it off.
It was just squaring up off the sweep as well, wasn't it? Arcing around, straightening up the point, got that attraction there from the defence.
Good, Scotty.
That's smart. Hey, mate, not just a pretty face up here. I've played a couple of C-grade games myself, mate,
I'd pay money to see that.
Oh, I wouldn't at all. So let's see how the Colts respond. 2-all. Happy to throw the footy around. They're going right across the park at the moment. Down that short side, nothing there. Forces them to come back in. They're losing meterage at the moment. Rolf just slings it out to the right-hand side of the field.
You'd rather run over this side of the field than over the other side, that's for sure. So you can really throw a defensive effort at them trying to all sub. They've got 2 players back there now just waiting. And now that they've dumped the ball, there's your 2 shooters there. And now the whole team will just push over and stick there. And that's the 3rd touch on the 10, and they'll make the 4th touch virtually in the same spot.
And ball down. Talia Rolfe showing that experience again. One of the best defenders in the game. Always knows just where that line is physical in the play of the ball. And never over vigorous, forces a mistake, gets the footy back for a team. And the Colts screaming up out of the line. Thinking having to play it. It's Talia again. He's up with Carla Sankey. Back in field. They're making changes, so they've only got the 5 players on the park at the moment, but they find a little space down the right-hand side of the field, and they get the penalty as well.
Getting a lot of repeat sets here, the Colts as well, so obviously finishing off a repeat set is a good thing. It's just making sure you can really be consistent coming into the line and doing the little 1%ers right to make sure that you are giving yourself a chance at scoring.
Izell holds him up as Tunks plays it within the 7. Izell, it was the right idea. Ball out in front of Carla Sankey. A little juggle. And the left-hand side of the field. They've got them isolated here, the Coast.
That's good pressure.
We're just caught in 2 minds. They started their set and probably got forced to start their set down the Colts sideline. They started to push it back out and probably caught in 2 minds there because they hadn't really made too many meters to push forward and get towards their box. Now they've turned the footy back over and they've got more pressure coming their way as Tunks dives in at the line.
Grace will have something up her sleeve at that left link there.
They get some pressure on her, though, defensively. This time they come her way. She steps out, left foot, tries to slice in underneath. Zoe Jenrick's already pointed to the spot. And it was just that amount of pressure, ball in good field territory. It's too much in the end for the Gold Coast.
And that started back with that defensive pressure 2 sets ago. They didn't get out of their 10 there. Once they got that pressure, and Grace really opened up that link there and really stepped back inside it. It looked too easy again. It's just good touch football from both teams as well, but as we were saying before, it's really starting off with that defensive pressure in the middle of the field, which is setting them up to come into the line.
Holloway Samuels, just shy of the 7, takes him again. Forced to retrieve. Isdale sends it back in. Holloway Samuels gets away from 1. They end up coming across and they'll get munched downfield. Returning the football back to the mark. As Adams taps and restarts. Takes some solid contact there on the first touch. It's been physical between the girls.
Good listening.
No half in place. They get there now. And Sankey goes to Rolf. They got good flow from the replacement players coming in. Great footwork and almost slicing through. Amelita Case, another one of the debutantes tonight. Almost lit it up.
That's that defensive pressure we started back here again, and that roll coming into the line. It just makes things so much easier to really create those options, especially when you're running from half. Country Club are really playing well with that at the moment.
Now Haig having a crab across field and try and pick up any sort of meters they can. It's McLaren who finishes off on the Gold Coast side of the field. As both teams will value taking this extra couple of seconds to get some breath back in the lungs. Back underway.
See, there's those two there. They just hold, and that's going the other way. It really takes that ease off their defensive pressure.
Nice footwork from Case. They slow up in the play the ball. Rolf now plays it. Someone's just got to punch forward here and get clean play the ball. They don't need to. Thanks to the penalty. In short. And offside in Gold Coast.
Country Club are just playing smart footy at the moment, coming out of their line, just really having eyes up and noting and listening to what the referee's saying, who's off, who's on, and it's really throwing, as we're talking about at halftime, that flood that they're trying to do with the box. It's really throwing it kind of out of whack as well.
Infield, Sortel linking up with Sankey, who feeds it out to Izell again, out in that left link position. Scored the last try for the Colts. Ooh. Yep. Down on the deck there, they might have had some phase play. They had all the momentum coming into the line there, Country Club. And Sortel can't slice through on the last touch.
Another 10.
This gives Gold Coast a leg up. And we can get that quick tap off the back end of it and just start running. It sets your set of 6 up a little bit easier. Nice hands. They hold on to the footy there. Mooney Stack will play it. Williams in at half. Here is Williams pointing and directing traffic out there at the moment. Mooney Stack goes away from her. Good footwork though. Ball hits the deck.
Had them worried there, the Gold Coast girls. It was really good attack in the middle there, and I think a couple of those middles are starting to think, oh God, where's the line?
There's another penalty offside from the Gold Coast, so it's back-to-back penalties being short.
What Craig said to them at halftime, they've definitely listened to, and it is definitely working.
They've definitely come out with a bit more intensity here in the second 20, that's for sure. The Gold Coast are putting some pressure on themselves at the moment, giving these penalties away. Can they hold on against the Colts?
Oh.
Adams, was she half?
Yes,
she was half. Well, it'd be interesting call here because she's grounded the ball in the in-goal area, which I think she has unintentionally.
Yeah, she's
lost her footing, so great call from the referees. We've made mention of it already throughout the game, the experienced referees that we have here. at the Metro Cup competition. Great work to get the right call, and it was the right call.
You don't find many better level 6 referees than that, and that was, that's probably one of the best calls I think I've seen.
It was a strange one because when Adams went through it almost looked like she had dived to score, but then when she popped up and threw that ball, she might have just lost her footing coming across the line, but it's one you don't see all that often.
No, not at all. We had it the last game with the men's prems. They catch off, the opposition player and regather again. Lots happening tonight.
Plenty of entertainment. Now Tunks and Gold Coast again, another mistake. Really hurting them at the moment, and that will hurt them even more. Natasha Adams almost half scored a try not too long ago. This time they won't be able to take it away from her.
I was going to say, I think she's guaranteed that one. It was just really good footy. That step back inside and create that space with the middles there. And the league was just a step away, but it's a step away that it really dictates whether it is a try or not. And, it shows there with the Colts taking, 2 up now with 6 minutes to go. An interesting next 6 minutes, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Coast need to be the next to score. Oh, and as I say that, the ball hits the deck. Lucy McLaren has might have been having a little bo peep at the defensive line. It has been a big second half here from the Colts. And reflected in the scoreboard.
It's another good roll into the line as well. Really gets the momentum going. 2 touches to go. Need to find a half.
Pull-us from half now. Sankey just kicks off that right foot, takes him on herself. Ooh. They do come across and cover to make the touch.
Good finish to the set as well. They've gone from their 10 to virtually the corner. Leaving it in the corner, it's really going to put a lot of pressure on this defensive set as well. There's 3 waiting back already for them. They're going to try and flood the box as much as they can, as we were talking about at half-time, and try and stop that defense. Stop the attack coming on there and restrict them as much meters as they can.
Punching forward now, Holloway Samuels plays it on the last touch. Oh, just a little bit of a clash of bodies there.
Tackle.
Sankey pops up to her feet. She's a tough country kid. Take a little bit more to slow her down. And through the hands, a little bit flat to Hudson. We're off down the sideline. They're getting called offside again. Here the Coast. It's such a fine line because you really want to try and put that defensive pressure on. And they did such a great job of it in the first half, but they've just been that step or two short here in the second. 3 penalties that I can recall that they've given away as Country Club have been coming out of their end of the field. It's just giving them that leg up to roll off the back end of it, and they've come up with points more times than not here in the second half.
The other thing as well is the Country Club are just taking that split second just to really make that decision and listen to the referee. And that's really what's giving them time to actually, bounce through what they're throwing up at them. They're coming into the line again. They go short side. Unfortunately, a forward pass off half by the looks of it.
So they managed to hold on that set. But as equally as good as Country Club have been, they've been pretty clinical with their defence. They haven't been giving the penalties away that the Gold Coast have been. And they haven't really had too many opportunities here in the second half, have they?
Absolutely. Yeah, Gold Coast have been very, very good when they're on their line. It's, just having that defensive presence and the smartness in the line not to give away penalties and defend correctly. And, it's only really as they've been rolling into the line that they've, obviously, Gold Coast have been unfortunate with that kind of thing. So,
I've given another one away here.
I'm not going to say whistle happy, I'll be nice, but there's been a few penalties coming into their defensive end there.
That one probably hurt a little bit more to give away because you could see the Colts turn the football back over. They didn't really have any defenders up in front of them at the time. So more defence here for the Coast. Well, that time they will get the football back. Sankey loses the footy.
Good as time is now to score for the Gold Coast. There's just gone 3 minutes left, so need one here to stay within one of the Colts, and unfortunately have just lost the ball coming into the line there.
Yeah, it does hurt because 3 minutes is definitely enough to work with. But now, if they can complete their set of 6 here, the Colts can get down the other end of the field and take it to about 2 minutes left on the clock. It does start to become a bit of a factor for the Coast.
Got the thing with touches as well. It can go 3 minutes can go for what feels like a minute and a half, or it could go for an eternity.
Yeah. Good contact. Play on's the call. And just caught up a little bit upright in the touch there. Carlos Sankey was looking for the penalty. Referee say play on. And what can the Coast do in this set? They're playing through the middle, going nice and direct now. A little bit of extra work to Holloway Samuels. And plays it just over the halfway line. And changes here, isolated and losing meters off the back end of it. And Colts will smell blood in the water now. They'll continue to try and put some pressure on coming into the last touch.
Oh, ball.
Mooney Stack just couldn't quite hit a target. Came out of the hands nicely though.
Came out sweet out of the hands, that did.
Haig comes up to make the first touch. Let's work on Rolf. Repeat set.
Smart footy. Smart footy, that. Minute and a half left. Breathe a little bit more. Get a nice set here into the line. Really put the icing on the cake.
Flat ball back on the inside to Isdale. There's Sawtell. Now, a little pop out to Sankey. Isdale directing traffic at the moment. Gets herself into half. Has a look. Comes back. Oh, whack. Little bump. And there from Lucy McLaren. Penalty for not returning the footy back. Under a minute to go now. And the Colts are going to chalk up their first victory of the competition. After going down to Brothers last week. An important win. You want to get that first one on the board. Just get yourself going now for the competition.
Chalk that first one up and go from there. I think for the Colts now, 25 seconds left. Really all you can do is just get down to the other end of the field, play smart footy, no mistakes, and not give yourself a chance here. And that's, oh God, that's a really good exit.
Changes flow on. They might have one last crack here, the Colts. Finger, some valuable meters coming down. Adams picks up, goes short side. Last touch now for the Colts. They got all their numbers on the left. They come back to the right. They get it back on the inside. Ball hits the deck. And that'll be all she wrote in this one. Jordan Randall brings it to a close. The Colts will get their first win on the board for the season. Much better performance from in the second half, and that's what got the job done in the end.
I don't know what Craig said to them at half time, but they just come out and just completed a lot better coming out of their line, and they just made rolling into their attacking end so much easier and so much smoother. It looked like a clinic coming out of their line. Everything was just smooth to the hands. They read that shooter. It's just really, really good all round. And, you know, obviously credit to Gold Coast. They come out and they stuck with them, play really, really good footy and defended really, really well on their line. It was just a bit unfortunate they just weren't able to finish off a few more chances.
Yeah, you can see the try scorers on the screen. Georgia Kett getting 2 on debut. The captain, Grace Izell, and Tash Adams, 2 of their experienced players, getting it done. Final score 4-2 in favour of the Country Club Colts. In this one, we hope you enjoyed the coverage tonight on KO Sports and Sky Sports Next. We'll be back next week. Round 3 action. Men's Premiers, UQ Rebels taking on Brothers. Southern Storm taking on the Country Club Colts in the Men's Premier. We look forward to your company next week. It is bye for now.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.